Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dancer's Edge podcast. My name is Janelle Warren Conowal, and I will be your host. I am super excited to dive in for our first ever podcast. Woo! This is something I've been planning for a long time, and I can't wait to share everything with all of you dancers and families and the entire dance community. So, since it is the beginning of the year, still sort of-ish, I thought a great topic to start out with would be how to have an amazing year in dance, because of course we all love dance, we all want to have a great year, so yeah, let's kick it off with some awesomeness. I have 10 tips on how to have an amazing year. Some of these you probably have heard, some are maybe some new, so first of all, I would like to say, grab a notebook. So if you have a notebook laying around or you want to take notes on your phone, however you want to do it, every episode we're going to have loads of tips and tricks for you for your dancing and how to just really live in your dancing. So yeah, get your notepads out, your pencils out, however you want to write it out, get a nice bubble letters, however you want to do it. Anyway, tip number 1, give it your all in class. A lot of times we show up and we've had a long day, a busy day, all kinds of things going on. But when you get to the dance studio, that is your time. That's like your special time in the studio. It's time for you to just push all that aside, get it out of your mind, get into your bodies, get into the dance zone. And you are going to get so much more out of your class the more you put into it. One of the things that I see a lot is with warm-ups. Sometimes I'll see people, dancers who are just not quite giving it their all. You know, they know it's their warm-up, they're kind of slacking a little bit. So it literally, from the moment that you walk in the door to the moment that you walk out, the more that you put in, the more you will get out of it and the more you'll improve. Something that I've always told my dancers whenever I see them see that little bit of slacking off is, you know, we don't do all of these things for ourselves as dance teachers. We do them for you, for our students. We do them so that our students will improve. You know, like I've already put my time in as a dancer. Us teachers have already put our time in as dancers. You know, we've done the hard workouts, we've done the hard warm-ups, we've done the hard bar, we've gone full out down the room, and that's what's made us into the dancer that we are today. And for you to advance and to get to a higher point, you need to put the work in, put the effort in. You're never going to get there unless you practice, unless you try. You're only there for a few hours. You might be there for an hour. I mean, maybe you're there for a ton of hours. However long you're there for, that is your time in the studio. Give it your all. And then when you leave, you're going to feel so good. It really, I know even as a teacher, if I'm having a busy day, lots of stuff going on, I go into the studio, I go in and I give it my all. When I leave, I feel so good. Even if I was in a grumpy mood before I started, you know, I put my dance teacher hat on and I am energetic. I'm working with all you dancers, loving it. And by the time I leave, my mood has completely changed. I'm in such a better mood. Also, along with this point, in order for us to surpass where we are, we have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So that means that you gotta go hard in order to move to the next level. If you keep doing things at a base level, it's gonna stay at the base level. So, you know, if you wanna get stronger, you gotta push through a little bit harder. If you wanna get more flexible, you have to stretch a little bit longer. If you want to go higher in that jump, you gotta push a little harder. So keep trying to push yourselves, and then when you leave that class, you'll know that you did the best that you could, and you're going to improve the most that you can. Tip number 2, to have an amazing year, come prepared. When you step in the room, have your hair up, dress properly, on time. Arriving on time means arriving early. Show up 10 to 15 minutes early for your class so that, you know, you can do all the things, use the washroom, get organized, get in the mindset. Right when you walk in the door, boom, you're on time, ready to go. I know for myself personally, I like to get right to it. I know I only have my dancers for 2 hours or an hour or however long I have them for in that lesson. And so I want to get the most out of every class. So in order to do that, you got to come in prepared. You also need to be prepared mentally. So having reviewed the choreography from last week or last class or whatever it is, mentally go over your bar exercises before you start so that when you jump in there, just like, boom, can get right to all the fun stuff. Tip number 3, smile. So I love this tip because I love to see dancers loving dance. And so does every single teacher, every single person. Smile when you're dancing. Smile when you're, make it all a performance. I always tell my students, when you're at the bar, you need to perform. That's one, how you're going to improve because you're pushing yourself because you're making it a performance. 2, it just is so much more enjoyable for your teachers to watch, for anyone who is maybe examining you, anything like that. And then 3, it also just gets you to practice that performance aspect of dance, which is a huge part of dance, so that when you do your performances, it's such an ingrained habit, so that everything you do, you're doing it as a performance. Kind of going along with this tip is to act confidently, and I find smiling actually really helps with that. Making it a performance really helps with that, so that you can really push through those moves and improve. Tip number 4 is to take notes. So I love having a dance notebook. I take mine everywhere with me. Actually, recently as a teacher, I've started inputting notes in an Excel spreadsheet, which I find is a quicker way for me to kind of keep track of things in between classes. But as a dancer, obviously we don't want you to have your cell phones out in class. So if you have a dance notebook, you can be making little notes whenever you get like a water break or after class, and that way you can review. If you're sick, you can write down your notes in there, review them there, and that just really helps. It's another way for you to mentally keep track of things that we went over and that we did, a mental way for you to review, and just a super helpful way for you to kind of keep track of everything. Tip number 5, keep an open mind. So there's so many ways that this can apply. A lot of times in class, you're trying new things. Sometimes they might feel really, really awkward. And sometimes they're supposed to feel really awkward. You might be moving your body in all kinds of different ways. And instead of like shutting down and being like, oh, I feel like really silly, just keep an open mind and give it a try. Another thing that I always tell my students is a dance studio is a safe space. So this is where we make our mistakes. We learn how to move our bodies. Sometimes we fall. Sometimes sometimes silly things do happen, and that's totally fine. It's a safe space for you to explore movement and explore all the ways that you can express yourself with your body. So keep an open mind, and the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. The more you try, the more you're going to learn. And maybe you do try something and it does, it feels weird and you do need to correct it. The only way you're going to be able to correct it is if you try it, and then your teacher can help you. If you're holding back, then we as teachers have a lot harder time trying to get through to you and help you to get to where the movement should be, what the movement should look like if you hold back. So just keep an open mind and go for it. Everyone loves to see someone who is like passionate and really giving it their all. It just brings the energy up so much. So be an energy upper, not an energy downer. Be an energy upper. Number 6. So our tip number 6 is to enjoy the process. So dance is fun, but it is hard fun. And sometimes it takes time and a lot of hard work and a lot of effort to be able to get to the fun. So when you first learn something, it takes time. You're not going to get it just right away. I mean, maybe you do, and that's awesome too. But for most of us, it's going to feel really hard at first, and then it's going to get easier. But the only way for it to get easier is for you to do it over and over and over again when it feels hard. So just remember that when you feel like you're struggling with something, is that it will get easier, but you have to go through the hard stuff first. And I see this all the time, whether it be from learning a new movement to doing choreography. I like to do a lot of fast, intricate choreography. So a lot of times I'll teach my dancers something and they'll just be like, what was that? And it will seem super, super fast. A lot of times I slow down the music so that we can practice it slow. But after a few weeks, they're doing it no problem. And so the same applies to you. At first, it's going to be hard. You got to practice, and then it gets so much easier. I promise. So yeah, just remember that it's a process. Enjoy the process. Love it. Love the challenge. And yeah, then you'll get it. Tip number 7, be kind. This is so important. You need to be kind, first of all, to yourself. If you were somebody else, imagine how you would talk to yourself, okay? So if you're trying to practice a move and you're like, oh, I can't get it, I'm so stupid. Oh, why can't I get this? Take a minute, deep breaths, be more compassionate with yourself, be understanding. Think of yourself as somebody else. If you were a friend, how would you talk to that friend that is struggling with that move? You wouldn't be like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Why can't you get this move? Hurry up. Ugh. You would say, it's all right, just try it like this. You would take your time with them, be understanding, be compassionate. So with those voices in your head, be kind to yourself. Be kind to your classmates, of course, help each other out. We're all there to have a great time and to do what we love, dance. So let's help each other have a great time and be kind to each other. If you see someone who's feeling a little bit left out, and it's hard, when you're excited and in the moment and laughing with all your friends and having a good time, it can be hard to kind of take that moment and look around to see who's not there, But I know for myself, I really do try and make an effort to take on that responsibility of looking for who is not there, who's not having fun, who's not engaged. So take a moment and make sure to include everyone. And of course, we want you to just have a good time and have fun. But if there's a new person in your class or you notice someone kind of standing off to the side, just give them a smile, invite them over, the more the merrier. Be kind to your dance teachers. Your dance teachers love you. They want to see you succeed. So just be kind to them, give them the respect of showing up on time, coming prepared, respecting them through listening in class. And I know some of my favorite ways of seeing respect from my students is seeing that they have practice, that they're showing up, and that they know their stuff so that we can really progress and move forward. And also show respect to your studio. So this could include any other staff that is at the studio, just smiling at them, saying hi. The studio is a family community environment. So extending that kindness out to anyone that you may see. And also the physical space, making sure that you're keeping your stuff tidy, cleaning up any spills that you have, being respectful of all the equipment, the mats, the mirrors, all that good jazz stuff. All right, moving on. Tip number 8, practice at home. This also goes along with coming prepared, but wanted to throw that in there. Like I said, dance is a process. The more you practice, the more you're going to see improvement. If you're only practicing something once or twice a week, it's going to take a lot longer to improve on it. If you practice it every day or every couple days, you're going to see such an improvement, whether that be stretching, if you want to get your splits and you don't have them, stretching every day. If you want to get better, I remember when I was a kid and I wanted to get a press up. Oh my gosh, I practice press ups in my house, in my living room. I have such vivid memories of this, every day, every second I could, I was doing a press up. I had releves. I did a lot of releves for my point shoes. I remember doing releves all the time. I remember doing releves because I wanted my point shoes so bad. And so I was just doing every exercise I could to strengthen my ankles. While I brushed my teeth, while I was waiting, I was just, doing releves, ankle strengthening exercises everywhere, all the time. Tip number 9 is to get involved. So a great way to have a great year is to get involved with the community aspect of your studio. Your studio probably has tons of things going on. Maybe it's spirit weeks or just fun little events that they have going on. Maybe through social media stuff, they've got stuff going on. Your studio is a community, so be part of it. Maybe there's different shows that you can go to of classes that you're not a part of, but just getting involved in that community. Potlucks, events. The more that you get involved, the more awesome your year is going to be because you're just going to be a part of the action, a part of the community, and a part of the family. Tip number 10 is to take ownership of your dancing. So instead of comparing yourself to others and saying I'm never going to be able to dance like so-and-so, stay in your own lane and focus on the steps that you need to do to get where you want to be. So instead of getting pulled on all this, like, oh, this person's better than me, this person's better than me, I don't get this, really kind of stay in your own lane and make your own plan. What do I need to improve? And then stay focused on those steps to get where you need to be. It's a distraction to get pulled into that, oh, they're so much better than me. Oh, I wish I was this. I wish I was that. Because the reality is that you're not that person, and they're doing their thing, and that's awesome. That's great. If they're a great dancer, that's so awesome. That's that's so awesome. I'm so happy for them. But you are not that person. And for you to get where you want to be, you got to stay focused on yourself. Where do you need to go? What do you need to do? And then just stay in your lane, is what I like to say. And then a little bonus tip, number 11, our final, not really 10, 11 tips for how to have an amazing year is to just have fun. Dance is so fun. And like I said, it can be very hard fun, but it is fun. We're all here because we love dance. And so let's enjoy it. Put the work in, work hard, but have fun. And that is it for our very first podcast of The Dancer's Edge. Make sure to subscribe. You'll be able to find this wherever podcasts are available. Leave us a review on iTunes if it's 5 stars. So make sure to share it with all your friends. Make sure to share it with anyone that you think would find this helpful or useful. Dancers, parents, whoever you think might benefit from this. There's no specific Instagram account for this podcast at this time. That might change. But for now, you can follow myself, Janelle Warren Conowal, at